Welcome to Anthropology 312, Prehistory of North America. This is Pei-Lin Yu. I'm just doing an introductory video for you since I cannot be with you the first week of class. I thought I would introduce myself a little bit for those of you who have not yet met me. I began working in the American Southwest doing Pueblo archaeology. And in the early 1990s, I was very fortunate to participate in an ethnoarchaeology research project in south-central Venezuela with a group of hunter-gatherers looking at technological organization. I have worked in the Great Plains with a specialization in Pleistocene bison bone bed archaeology. I have also worked in the Pacific Northwest extensively. This is a picture of Tsegegalalal, she who watches. She's sort of an icon of the Pacific Northwest. I've done a lot of cultural resources management in this area. I've also worked in the Northern Rockies with the National Park Service, most recently on a project in Glacier National Park, studying the archaeological artifacts and also paleobiological items found melting out of ancient ice patches which are being lost due to climate change. I'm also working in China and Taiwan. Right now I am actually in China, which is why we're watching a video instead of being together in class, and I'll talk a little bit about my Chinese research even though we are focusing on the North American continent in this class. So I'd like you to consult your syllabus right now, and I'm going to spotlight a few items for you. First and foremost, it's really important that you attend every class. We don't have a textbook for the class. We're going to be covering an enormous amount of time and space in lecture. You're going to want to get really good at taking notes. You can bring your laptop to class. I've had people take pictures of my slides. That's all good. But I will not be posting the slides, so it's very important that you attend class. I might assign some weekly readings prior to class from time to time. If I do that, I'll let you know. They will be in Blackboard or on the internet, and you will have ample time to complete it before class. I'll be assigning some quizzes. There will be a class presentation and also a final book report that make up your grade. In this class, we're going to be using an environmental approach. Many of you probably are cringing, thinking that this means environmental determinism. That is not my approach. I tend not to think linearly. But however, as we know, the environment is an important theater in which the story of cultural evolution plays out. North America is home to a wide variety of environmental theaters. And as you know, the theater can really influence the play. Here we have a Shakespearean theater, and then we have a slightly different theater, which is sort of a Beyoncé video. I just wanted to highlight how very different theaters can be and how that's going to influence the evolutionary play that happens there. Another syllabus spotlight: if you miss a class, get the notes from a friend, and if you miss a graded assessment, there are no makeups. I really don't have time to do makeups. There's only one of me, and I'm teaching on a very brisk schedule. So you need to have a documented medical reason for your absence, in which case I will simply average your grade from everything else you do in class. If you miss a graded assignment like a quiz or a test, or a presentation, and you have no documented medical excuse, that will be a 0. Another syllabus spotlight. The final assignment for this class is going to be a book report. You're going to select your own book on the archaeology of a specific region of the North American continent. First, pick a book. I have a list on the syllabus. You can also choose your own book. Email me your selection on or before September 2nd. The other major graded assignment in this class is a presentation. You may choose to do a spoken PowerPoint presentation or a poster. You will be working with one partner, so email me the name of your partner and also whether you wish to do a poster or a PowerPoint presentation also on or before September 2nd. For those of you who have taken Anthro 103, I believe all of you have taken that. You may want to refresh yourselves on some of the culture units. I'm going to just run over these quickly because at times we do refer to these in this class. You're going to want to refresh your memory on a component, which is essentially a stratigraphic unit, usually represents a single occupation, or we interpret it that way. Phase, which is similar components from multiple sites within a geographic region. And archaeological regions, which are based on archaeological traits in natural geographic areas and features. We will be discussing culture areas, which are sort of the archaeological equivalents of ethnographic culture areas, only based on material items. And we will also be describing culture stage, which are more loosely defined as chronological and organizational units made up of a variety of characteristics, and we use these in culture historic treatments of the United States and its areas. I am going to give you a few examples now of culture stages that we're going to be discussing for each of the major regions. The first is probably quite familiar to you, the Paleo-Indian culture stage. These dates, by the way, are flexible. That represents the first groups of people who came into this country. There is a new culture stage emerging called Paleo-American. I did not list it, but you may want to keep that on your back burner. The Archaic stage, which is essentially hunter-gatherers or foragers of the modern climatic epoch, or the Holocene. The Late Prehistoric, also called formative or woodland, which usually indicates a degree of intensification on subsistence and settlement. This is where we see denser populations, sedentism, and a number of technological innovations, including agriculture. And finally, we will discuss the proto-historic, which, of course, is variable and based on the time of European contact, and usually a little bit after that, and generally is distinguished by characteristics that are a blend of native and introduced European characteristics. That is all I have for our first video today. I thank you for your attention. Feel free to watch this again if you need to, and I look forward to seeing you in class on Monday, August 31st.